Hello, Taurus, and thank you for joining me. It's great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Well, our readings here are different, good, and I always look forward to seeing you. This is going to be an exciting reading, I think, with a great deck that belongs in an art gallery, to be quite frank. Now, many people ask me, can I do a private reading for them? And the answer is yes. Just check out the information that's in the description box below, and you can see how easy it is for that to happen from anywhere in the world. Anyway, let's see what there is in store for you, Taurus. And now we're going to take 5 cards. Now, I do think that you will find the artwork on these cards particularly beguiling. Actually, you know, I had a look through them earlier, and there's the 7 of Wands. I had a look through them earlier, and they seem to me as being works of art that one might ordinarily find hanging up in a gallery somewhere. There's the Queen of Swords. So I'm going to enjoy looking at the images while there's the 3 of Swords. I'm going to enjoy looking at the images and seeing what they have to say to me, to speak to me. Let's take something from down here, shall we? That one looks like it's jumping out, whatever that is. So that is the 6 of Swords. And what's this one that jumped out? Take one of those. Judgment, I see. Well, why don't you now come down, sit here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the cards together while I do the reading for you. Here we are. Well, just looking at these cards, I think you are going to be doing a bit of weeding of the mental garden. I think that you will be working through past hurts. Let's have a look at this 3 first, shall we? This 3 of Swords. Now, 3 arrows are hitting a man in the middle of his heart. His heart is represented by a large red rose that stands for the man's love and passion. The arrows, which represent painful words or deeds, have hurt his feelings. His eyes are closed and streams of tears are running down his face. The attack seems to have happened unexpectedly because the man wears no protection, and his gesture is welcoming rather than defensive. You know, in a sense, this energy here symbolizes a heavy heart that is carrying sorrow. Metaphorically, the intensity of this sorrow is so powerful you want to tear open your being. I think this might be from past hurts, so the pain inside can bleed out. Do you feel that about some past hurts and wrongs? Now, these things are coming to the surface, I think, because they are being worked through. It's not an easy time, and it calls for courage to accept and deal with the suffering you're holding within. The 3 Swords brings mental anguish, heartbreak. But those experiences can bring the opportunity to transform sorrows into new insights and understandings as well, you know. I guess the key to this energy is not to bury your painful experiences, but to work through them by facing and surrendering to them, shifting the painful emotions and negative thinking to a neutral ground. The 3 of Swords' gift is to transform sorrow and pain into healing and growth. Now, there's no doubt, I think, that you have had the experience of heartbreak, maybe despair and grief, painful memories that are being held in the mind and heart need to be looked at, accepted, processed, and let go so that you can heal. Now, this energy encourages you to empty the sadness in your heart. The pain of losing something special is an individual experience that each of us processes differently. The 3 of Swords' silver lining, though, is that this energy cleanses the mind and heart from the heaviness of life's pain. It brings truth and clarity to situations, relationships, or issues that have been in denial. It changes the focus of, really away from old emotional wounds and defeating thoughts to the present. Cleansing is not an easy process, I understand that. but the rewards are many. Cleansing gives you a sense of lightness and strength. The cleanse of the Three of Swords detoxes and rejuvenates your spirit, so a new identity and perspective can emerge. Now, this can often here also indicate an issue involving three people or three situations that is causing distress. It can signal betrayal or being let down, as well as sudden and unexpected change or loss. You get the picture. So this is a time when I think maybe a tear might rise up. Tears are a form of cleansing. And when you have cried, cry all of your tears. But when you have cried your last tear, you begin the process of healing. Well then, why don't we move to this other swords card that's here, seeing as we're started with that sort of a theme. What's this telling me? Oh, see, things are, I think, starting to look up. Now, you may not think that, but let's have a look at the image here, shall we? Now, there is a woman covered in a dark cloud, and she's travelling over the sea. She looks troubled and seems to be in grief. Now, there are 6 clouds. You see them here? 6 clouds float beside her, and they carry all of the woman's troubles and pain. The woman reaches out to a rope attached to a star at the top and an anchor at the bottom. She is hoping the rope will lead her to a new place where she can recover from her sorrows. Now, the Six of Swords, I think, here in this reading for you, moves you away from painful grief, conflict, and negativity to peace of mind and into new potential. If life has become overwhelming with difficulty, stress, and feelings of defeat, this energy brings a quiet, calm departure from those experiences, giving you time to recover and dream of new horizons. The Six of Swords signals the beginning of a spiritual journey to healing. The key to the Six of Swords is to walk away from unhealthy situations that are depleting your personal power and stealing your self-worth. The gift of the Six of Swords is universal support guiding you to a deeper understanding of yourself and your life, regaining spiritual strength and bringing a fresh start. Do you know, I see this Six of Swords here as a gateway card for you, presenting a passage to transformation. As you leave behind thoughts of a difficult and sad situation, and that battered part of yourself now begins to die away. The charge of pain and confusion is leaving, and only the memory remains. Something within you is slowly shifting. Clarity and hope begin to emerge, cleansing away your mental anguish, gently healing your spirit as you travel to a new place of new insight. The energy within and around you has shifted and slowed down to a sort of a meditative state, guiding you to the light of higher consciousness. Now, as you gain focus and direction, the importance of honoring your self-worth is revealed. Trust and faith begin to be felt, and you broaden and stretch your perspectives. You are moving away from your troubles, quietly and slowly, toward the sunlight of transition and promise. This signals that it's a time to let go of defeating and unhealthy situations or outgrown attitudes and beliefs that are keeping you in checkmate, if I can use that game of chess analogy. It calls you to align with your higher self and rebalance the ego with the heart by taking an honest look at your present condition. Now, it may take time, but you will gain your self-worth and your personal power back, enabling you to cut ties with pain and mental unrest. This represents stepping away from difficult situations, cutting through illusions and fixed perspectives, moving into truth, viewing life from a clearer perspective. Whatever difficulties you have experienced, whatever charge it had for you, that conflict in your mind is now leaving. You may feel that you are defeated and depressed, but remember, those feelings come from outgrown perspectives and attitudes that need to be shifted into a higher way of thinking. And this energy brings you into a safe place where you can pick up the pieces of your life. This represents getting stronger mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Your life is moving in a positive direction. Now, the tides of life are always shifting between the polarities of positive and negative energy, so your job is to keep centered and balanced while flowing with the rhythm of evolution. Sometimes we get lost out there, but this Six of Swords brings you back to your inner home and victory. Well, where shall we travel to next? I think we might have a look at Mr. Muscles up here. Hey, Muscles, what have you got to say? Let's have a look. Well, clearly, on this card here, don't we? We see a stronger man behind iron bars. He is in front of a red curtain, and I think that symbolizes his strong emotions and moral convictions. The man is defending his position by bending the bars with his bare hands. The 7 bars stand for all the challenges he has faced in life. His many tattoos tell of the stories that emerged from those conflicts. They result out of his experiences with aggression, defiance, and the need to protect. He has always stood up for and defended what he believes in. Now, it may well be that in a sense, I think that this card maybe presents you with conflicts that challenge your inner power. Aggression and suppression are combating your ego and spirit, bringing anxiety. Is there any anxiety in here? Look, this is a normal process of you working through these past hurts and things that are going on here. There's a battle between your inner values and outer reality, and is creating maybe defensive reactions and possibly unrest with you. The outside world might be testing and challenging your beliefs and your inner strength, and you strive to find some kind of balance in this uncomfortable place of evolution. But the key to this 7 of Wands here is to believe and trust your true values, keeping them in balance with your actions. Now, the gift of this energy is courage and conviction to stand by your truth, igniting your inner power, bringing a breakthrough to another level of spiritual potential. Now, I think this spiritual warrior is represented by this energy here, almost on the battlefield of life, being tested to do the right thing. But this card, I think, puts you in the trenches of confrontation, forcing you to defend your honor and yourself. Now, sometimes challenges can knock you off guard, but don't be put off guard. This is the time to dig deep, balance the ego and the heart, finding the spiritual courage and confidence to break through the struggles and problems that life presents, and you will be successful. This allows because sometimes it is the lone soldier that turns the battle, Very often that is the case. I see here the cosmic fire of your kundalini burning away any limitations that block your inner strength. Harness that energy and empower yourself to follow your true path with conviction. Move to higher ground, seeing the bigger picture, and act from courage and wisdom. Now, The lesson, I think, of this Seven of Wands is having confidence to stand by your truth with integrity, with courage and honor. In uncertain times, do not be influenced by what you hear, read, or watch. Trust your intuition and your gut feelings. Listen to your inner guidance and transcend surface illusions and limitations. Now, confrontation and conflict bring light to a struggling aspect of yourself that will allow healing, strength, and transformation to take place. And I think that this energy and the words of the divine in here are asking you to reassess your beliefs and values as you stretch and grow. Is your heart and mind in agreement with your action? And also remember, know how to pick your battles. Think before you act. Stop and feel if what you are contemplating aligns with your heart. This Seven of Wands in this reading for you is awakening your inner truth, your life force, and your personal power. Now, let's see, who else might we have here? Oh, this looks interesting. Why don't we have a look at that? What do you have to say to me? Here we go. Beautiful Queen of Swords. Well, here the Queen of Swords is sitting on a balloon high up in the sky. Looking through her telescope, she faces the future and seeks the truth in all matters. She wears a blue dress. I think that expresses her mental clarity. Now, birds are surrounding her, reflecting the Queen's caring nature. Strings connecting the balloon with earth enable the Queen to be flexible in receiving other information as well. Gathering the facts helps her to judge things independently. Now, really, the Queen of Swords is the celestial queen, air, channeling pure divine thought and truth. She symbolizes the mother goddess of purity, light, and divine wisdom. Now, esoterically, she embodies the elements of water as a queen, which is emotion, and air in the suit of swords, which is the mind, by balancing and integrating fluid, feminine, intuitive wisdom with the airy, divine intellect. She expands the energies into intuitive wisdom. Now, her intellect and perception make her a leader of authenticity and justice. She's gracious and just. She approaches all situations in life with focused authority. And I think that this is what you will be beginning to do as well. Incidentally, I see that Libra is going to be important to you at this time, and so is Virgo. Just getting those things there. I think you'll have a very good memory for details, and you'll be very good at solving problems. Now, this Queen doesn't recognize excuses or justifications. As a warrior of truth and honesty, she doesn't tolerate false perceptions in herself or in other people. She thinks ahead, makes a plan, communicates it, and takes action. With a precise mind and strong will, she cuts through confusion, fear, and doubt. Now, some may find this Queen of Swords stern and intimidating. Now, it is true, I think, that she is the least emotional of the four queens in the tarot deck. The Queen of Swords shares the element of water with her sister queens, but her strong mind of air fights the feelings of the heart, which is water. Now, she has experienced deception, loss, sorrow, and life's hard knocks. Her independent, brilliant mind helped her survive her travels through the lessons of life, and rather than becoming a victim, She's worked hard through her challenges, through her difficulties. She has become more wise and powerful. Her struggles and misfortunes have made her a woman to reckon with. In her journey, she has suppressed her emotions sometimes, not wanting to expose her heart. As a result, she's more confident, sometimes conducting herself really through the mind, the intellect. And sometimes she might see emotion as being a weakness. But her challenge is to keep her mind and heart in balance, giving both equal respect. She needs to recognize that her keen perception comes from her intuitive abilities. The Queen of Swords is a powerful force, and when she arrives in your life, get ready for transformation. You will be asked to be clear about the path you are taking. What distractions are you allowing to misguide you? Her lesson is to be very clear, honest, and forthright about your choices. Discover your power by facing and removing blocks and fears that hold you back from your truth and free will. Truth is a transformative energy that brings you to the threshold of any challenge, demanding that you cut through any belief systems or patterns that fog your mind and block your heart. The Queen of Swords here awakens the sacred warrior of clarity and truth within you, cutting away the blocks that shadow your inner light and strength. And she brings you wisdom and healing. Now, what other cards do we have which bring a bearing on your... Well, it's just this one, isn't it? See, this has been a real process of bringing things to the surface and getting over past hurts and regaining your power. And what does this have to say? Judgment. Ooh, well, this is probably going to have a bearing on it as well, and it's not surprising, I suppose, because here this card shows a female angel, a messenger of God. That's what angel means, incidentally. It comes from the Greek angelos or angelos, which means a messenger from God. And she's blowing a large golden trumpet. She is standing in the middle of a busy city, calling all the people to rise up and take a stand. She is a reminder that in the end, we will all be judged for our actions and life choices, but past mistakes will be forgiven when we choose to change and make a new start. I think at a top level, this card urges you to make amends by transforming your life. But more deeply, as we delve into the messages and the energy that is here, the Judgment card, this energy brings a higher level of awareness that resurrects you into a new way of thinking. It is almost like a spiritual rebirth, a spiritual awakening. It represents a time when life becomes fresh again, and the burdens or limitations from the past break away, opening you up to the beauty of universal love and freedom. Now, I'm noticing that the number here is 20 from the numerology. That really is a number of awakening, of knowledge, of power, mastery, universal service, compassion, completion, and rebirth. Now, when this card turns up, it really is the divine speaking to you. Listen closely to the message. A spiritual revelation or a eureka moment will be gifted to you. Old ideas or outworn beliefs are now transforming into a higher awareness, taking you in a new direction. The path you once followed is dissolving into distant memories. Judgment reminds you that each of us takes different paths. The paths wind and intertwine through the landscape of life like a river flowing towards the sea of oneness, don't they? And there are many lessons and detours as as each of us navigates through life. Now, this judgment energy frees your mind and heart from false beliefs, memories that no longer serve you, bringing clarity and realization of the oneness of all. Now, there are two kinds of judgments, I suppose: self-judgment and the judgment of others that can hold you back from being your true self. A lot of your judgment was ingrained during childhood. Children are sponges, learning from their environment, taking in everything around them. They believe what they are told and taught about themselves and others. Well, humanity encompasses many different colors, cultures, attitudes, and beliefs, and what may seem foreign and strange to one person is totally normal to somebody else. Lack of understanding shapes judgment into limited beliefs, but also into misguided truths. This energy here is transforming negative judgments and beliefs into wisdom. A judgmental attitude is probably one of the most difficult things to break, to cleanse and heal. Judgment calls you to take responsibility by being aware of your judgmental attitudes and thoughts. It asks you to learn how to transform the parts of the self that work against you and others. And it is through self-love and respect for others that you become whole. But this is a time, I think, when new directions and goals will excite your senses. Your life is going to have a higher purpose. You don't need to feel isolated or alone. You understand that everybody is connected, and each action you take affects the whole. What a transformative, wonderful, healing period for you. That's the way it is for you this month. Fantastic, and I really enjoyed the artwork on these cards, I really must say. Now, if you want to look at more of the artwork, of course, just jump through to your rising sign or to your moon sign, and you'll see a spread of the different pieces of artwork and the different other signs as well. That's a thing that you can do that's there. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I love seeing you. Great to see you. And I hope you enjoyed, well, I know you would have enjoyed that as much as I did providing it to you. Now, remember one thing, of course, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.